very bad feeling about this.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this. I've got a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about
I have a very bad feeling about this. I've got a bad feeling about this.
For what it's worth, I've got a good feeling about this.
Punch it, Chisel!
Is that you, Mike?
No, maybe Oh, Haven's no bother. Unless you got a good sandwich.
Maybe.
I feel like Big Mac or, Big Havens, whatever you want to call them, is like the Jabba the Hutt, although less cooler, of the Star Wars collecting group. Because he's kind of like a gangster. The shit that he does and the antics he plays, and he's got henchmen and security and all this shit, and he travels around on a floating fucking barge
Dude,
thing.
I'm surprised he does not have people carrying him on a litter.
No, a litter, yeah. He definitely has a litter box.
Yeah. Dude, maybe, ICCCCC, the IC convention, is this weekend. I would not be surprised.
It's pronounced...
if he had someone carrying him in like that.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I'd probably respect the guy if that happened.
Wearing a crown or some shit like that.
Yeah, and even drinking his juice from a tube.
Yeah, that he's the founder. Dude.
Who would be the Salacious Crumb, though?
Jason Annabelle.
Yeah!
Definitely him. Although they do make the little sipper thing like that looks like his hookah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I've got one.
You should drink from it.
I have.
Oh, you do?
I got it at Disneyland.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of I Got a Bad Feeling About This. I'm your host, Chisel, and with me, as always, is Jonathan the Fallen.
What's up?
And I'm sure by now you could tell what the topic of today's episode is going to be about. This weekend is the ICCCCC convention in Nashville. And in typical fashion, this guy has managed to piss off a whole bunch of people in the Star Wars community.
Yes, he has.
So,
Again.
Yeah. In one of our last episodes, we talked about Star Wars theory and, him being there. Well, that wasn't the end of it. Today, he issued a statement on his, I think it was his personal page or on the convention page about not letting people into the hotel that did not have tickets to the convention. That after the convention, you can't come hang out unless you had a ticket.
I have his most of what he put down here, a lot of it. So he goes like this. He goes, howdy, folks. I'm trying to be nice with room sales and look the other way like I always do. Unfortunately, I have been notified about a few people that are just going to show up and sell at a room sales without a ticket or a room at the host hotel. Now, I know that I can't be true, or at least I hope not. It's not true. If you don't like the IC and you don't like the convention, don't come. If you are attending and see someone at room sales that is not attending the convention and does not have a room in hotel, the hotel, sorry, and always been an IC and naysayer, please PM me and a candid picture. It will be 100% anonymous. I'm sure it will be. Yeah. I know I can count on all of you. Keep wonderful room sales going forever at ICCCCCC. After ICCCCCC, I will put up a post right here mentioning the people that badmouth the IC but still take advantage to fill their pockets. I desperately do not want to make this post or a post after the convention about it, and I want to believe that people have common decency. This convention takes a lot of planning and lots of work and lots of money, blah, 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 and he goes on, but I don't have the rest of it because it's stupid.
Yeah. So what really bothers me about that is these people aren't coming to his convention. They don't have to. They're coming to meet their friends.
Also, like, dude, keep it on the low with your people. Don't put it out on your fucking personal, like, ICC shit, you know, that you're the king of, you know. Dude, like, you're calling out people. This is like a Nazi regime here, you know? Like, you're trying to, like, lambash these people and, like, put a fucking sticker on them or a fucking armband, you know?
Yeah. So
take pictures of them?
Exactly.
That's fucked.
So these guys want to come and hang out with their friends. They don't want to come to the convention. They want to see their friends. That's it. That's what they're going there for. They want to see the people that they don't always get to see. They might be local. They might, live, maybe a couple hours away, so it's worth them to come out for the night and hang out with their friends. They don't need to be there all day long, going to the convention, that kind of stuff. They just want to hang out with their friends. And that's what Star Wars is supposed to be about. Right. That's what he claims. Oh, we can all play Star Wars. No, we can't all play Star Wars unless we play by his rules. We've heard him say it. And this just goes to show that if you don't do it his way, you're not allowed.
Well, maybe like if you show up in like a dark robe and like you can use your Jedi mind tricks on Jabba, but maybe they won't work. I don't know. Well. I don't know. You kind of have to like find a workaround with this Big Jabba character. But this post was screenshotted and posted to the Dianoga Trash Talk group. I want to read some of the comments. Brian says, does he own the hotel then? And James responds, he goes, it seems like he thinks he owns every hotel within a 50-mile radius. John says, Kim Jong-Havens. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Chad says, this is right out of the Empire's playbook. Yes, it is. Well, sure. It could, because they could do the same thing. Take pictures of, whatever. Let's see. But then, the people that you were talking about that you kind of mentioned there a little bit, I did screenshot their thing that they had posted. And this was posted in the Dianoga Trash Talk group, so I screenshotted it. And Bill had posted it. And he goes, good people fucked over. And so the post is from Hannah Bennett and Sam Bennett. And I guess they were attending the hotel.
So they were the ones that were going to go.
They're not selling.
They're not selling. They're going to meet friends. They came back from
because of Star Wars. They don't really have any affiliation or whatever. They're, they know about everyone, but they don't care.
They were going there to meet friends.
That's like I wouldn't care either. I would just be like, this is cool. Hang out.
They're gonna go, and they said they were bringing back some swag from Celebration, which was in Japan this year.
Yeah.
So that was their whole plan, and she had a problem with, wait, so you're telling me someone's going to take my picture because I don't have a badge, or I'm not part of the convention, and I'm not selling or anything, and then you're going to post it online?
If you want to take my picture, I won't remember. No, I'll remember. Because you're going to post it.
She had a problem with that.
I do too.
And I don't blame her. So I guess the hotel ended up canceling her reservation.
So this is, you speak of that. This is what she said, or what she posted. She goes, as many of you know, we are not attending the IC this weekend. However, we have planned since October of last year to attend the lobby sales of IC and trade with and deliver patches to our friends outside of convention hours. It has now been made clear by Michael Havens and the guy running the lobby sales that we must have an IC ticket to attend lobby sales, unless we want to worry about people walking around and taking our photos and reporting back. Not only that, but our one-night hotel booking at the Hilton was canceled, and we were told we have no business reason to be in the hotel and not to come. Again, we just wanted to see our friends and deliver patches from Star Wars Celebration Japan. We never had any plans to do anything during hours of their convention. If you're one of the people we plan to meet up with, we're sorry. It's literally been made impossible for us. When people ask what we have against Michael Havens and IC, the IC community, know that this is what we have to deal with. So, yeah, it's It's pretty fucked up. There's some comments on that too.
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch.
Yeah, like somebody, I don't know, they said a bunch of stuff, but the original poster, Hannah, she goes like, "Good people fucked over." Might be my next swag.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Dude, that'd be a good shirt.
But yeah, I think that's the only comments I flagged for right now. But
yeah, so I was reading up on, what she had posted, and, she contacted the hotel and said, "Hey, look, I got a problem with somebody saying they're going to be taking my picture and posting it online."
anyone would, right?
Yeah, and the hotel
Because her and her people are called out right now. People are going to be looking out because he's got henchmen, he's got security, he's.
Yeah. So she's worried about it, which is a legitimate thing. Obviously she's a female and feels threatened that someone's going to be taking her pictures and posting them online.
She's not going dressed as Slave Leia, but even
No.
if she was, you
Nope.
know.
Cosplay is not consent.
Right.
So she had a legitimate concern about what was going to happen in the hotel. And the hotel was like, "Well, you have no reason to be here. We know you have problems." So they canceled her reservation.
That's fucked up by the hotel because that's hearsay.
Exactly.
You're going from the guy who rented out the hotel for his convention.
There's-
They just want no problems, but that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you have to prove, like, intent. I mean, I guess, like, it's free reign business. You can do whatever you want. But if you signal someone out like that, like, you can have a lawsuit on your hands because you can't prove anything.
Exactly.
Can you prove, like, past wrongdoings or like, that you were there to do something wrong?
You would have to, you would have to be like, "Oh, hey, this person has done this. This person has done this before."
And trading with someone, dude, that's fucking legal.
Yeah. You're allowed to walk into a hotel lobby.
Yeah, and you can trade with anyone you want.
If there's a bar in there or if there's a restaurant in there, anybody can walk in. You don't have to have a room to walk in there, especially after convention hours, things like that. Anybody can walk in.
Right. No,
The hotel then could ask you to leave for whatever reason, but
they probably
you're
put up
still-
a sign: no Star Wars helmet, no service.
Yeah.
You know. It's still fucked up though. Like, you can't just tell people who are vacationing, like, "Oh, Mr. Big Mac has a problem with you, so we have to cancel your booking." Sorry.
And we're a couple days away. What if these people were ready to fly out tomorrow and this happened today?
What if they showed up and, like, their shit
Oh,
was canceled? You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, big corporations or whatever, they don't always get back to you.
No.
Your shit gets lost sometimes. Like, "Oh, it was canceled." Well, why? Well, we'll have to figure that out.
Exactly. Then what do you do?
I would just show up anyways, and I would go, "Why was my room canceled? I wasn't told about this."
But what's funny is that there's still hotel rooms available in that hotel online right now. They're not sold out.
Really?
Yes. Although it has been said the hotel has been sold out for months. I checked today, and they have rooms available for this weekend. Multiple.
Would you check on Expedia or any of those sites? Like, because sometimes they sell hotel rooms to those sites to book later.
Went right to their website,
Oh, okay.
and there were rooms available. There was rooms on they were on Expedia, TripAdvisor, and the hotel's own website.
Damn. Okay. I mean, it's always cool to, like, stay at a hotel where the convention is going, because then you can, stay out late, hang out with, like-minded people.
Yeah.
It's fun. And even if you do have, like, some sort of enemies, we can clear paths, We can stay away from each other. And also, dude, like, even if I ever had an enemy, which, I have here and there, but not really. I've always made up with everyone I've ever known,
Yeah.
Like, I could still save face, and act accordingly.
Yeah, and at an event like that, don't be the guy. Don't be a dick. You could be like, "All right, hey," and just, not talk to them. And just, don't ruin your weekend.
Have you done shows? Have you ever banned a seller or trader or whatever, people that come and
Kind of. I
Kind of.
kind of have. There's one guy that now there's two guys,
I mean,
actually.
stealing is one thing.
No, that wasn't it. It was for...
Even though Haven says, "They're stealing from me."
It was more for the way they acted around women.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's definitely what it was about with both of them. Both of them were being pretty creepy, so they're just not allowed back. It's not like we told them you're fucking banned, anything like that. No, they're just not allowed back.
Right.
That's it.
Were they like touchy-feely, or what are they doing, taking upskirt pictures?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and one of them got caught by the lady's husband. So
Lucky he didn't get his ass beat.
oh yeah, the guy was mad, and we had to step in
He
and
intervened.
and
So
everything. So
That's different, though. But
it is.
people come in and trade all the fucking time, and whether they paid or not, I don't know. I'm in there selling.
I let people come in with wagons full of stuff to the show.
Yeah.
People message me constantly, and they're like, "Hey, are we allowed to bring stuff in? To see if anybody wants to buy or trade?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Just kind of keep it reasonable. If you bring a wagon or something like that to put your stuff in, I have no problem with that. I love trading.
Me too.
We trade all the time.
I do this for the hobby, not to make
exactly
a bunch of money.
So I don't care if this guy wants to bring in a bunch of stuff and see if any vendors want to buy it. He paid me his admission, so I don't care.
Right.
And-
Well, see, Hannah did not pay the admission for the ICC, right?
No,
But it's still, but she does plan on hanging out in the lobby.
yeah. So that's like how we do our car show.
Okay.
We put on a car show, but we don't charge people to go to that. That's an extra thing that people pay to enter their cars, but anybody that wants to come watch look at the cars and all that stuff, there's no admission for that. There's admission if you want to come into the show to shop, but not to come to the car show.
So I've been to a lot of hotel conventions. We have a lot of them out here.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I go to the bar and hang out and drink and hang out with other like-minded people if they're there. Sometimes they're not, Sometimes I'm the only alcoholic there.
Yeah.
And it's 11 a.m., so what?
Yeah. You're on
We're
vacation.
hanging out.
Yeah.
For that one day, yeah.
I go to Vegas for conventions all the time. And the one that I go to every year, they make room sales a part of it.
Yeah.
So everybody that comes, whether you have a ticket or not.
Now, when you say room sales, like these are like different areas in the hotel where they kind of section off to the convention only type of shit.
No, what they'll do is you basically get a room in the hotel, right? And you sell out of your room.
What?
Yes.
This is what they're doing?
This is what room sales are.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So
I kind of like that. So you can get like all on one floor and everyone just goes through that
and
floor?
you just leave your door open.
Wow.
And if your door is open, people just come in and shop.
So you can make like a whole store in your fucking room.
Yes.
That I kind of like that.
Some of the hotels will even remove the furniture from your room if you want. If you want them to take the beds out so you have more room in there, they'll do it.
Oh no, I want the bed.
But if you have two beds, they could take one out. So you could set up tables.
Yeah.
Some people bring their folding tables and they just lay them on the bed. And other people
I
will
would just like take all Cobra's Power of the Force and put them on the bed and say jump.
Yeah.
Go ahead, have a jump. You ever like want to Scrooge McDuck it through Star Wars figures? Here's your chance.
So this has been a thing for a long time. If you read Haven's thing, he acts like he created room sales, but they've been going on forever.
So now I'm getting the picture. So these people were Hannah or whatever and her husband, they were going to go up and hang out in the room areas or just the lobby and like meet their friends.
They do both. They do both. So they'll have after the convention ends, they'll allow people to set up some tables in the lobby for like a trade night.
Oh, okay.
So it's after the convention. The convention is not open at that time.
I would think you want the most people there even if they don't pay. Because
Yes.
they might pay to go up into the cool area because they met someone who might have, it's like, yeah, I got shit
and the
upstairs.
next, they might bring
I can go
them
see what
in.
else they got. So
you might have somebody come that night and be like, "Oh shit!" And the guy's like, "Oh hey, I have this stuff, but it's in the, it's in the, the room,
Yeah.
where all the vendors are," and be like, "I can't get it, but if you want to come tomorrow, you can get a ticket right now, and just come in tomorrow, and then you'll hang out, and you might get some people in there that may not know about it or just kind of want to see what it's about without paying, and then, oh, hey, this is really cool. I'm going to come back tomorrow.
Right, and for Havens to call out this person who's not a repeat offender or anything like that is fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, it's just because they were at Star Wars Celebration and you seen their post
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't know, like if they posted on something else to be known that they came from Japan or not. You know,
So
they
I
went
think
to Celebration.
So I think they had posted that they were going to be there to meet up, and then they made the post because there's a whole nother group on Facebook that's for room sales, and every year there's an issue with room sales.
Really?
One year the guy running it said he was quitting, he wasn't doing it, he didn't give a fuck, and it's a problem every year. Now.
Like it seems like it's hard to control that because it's in a hotel and there's rooms. Like that's legally your room.
Exactly.
You cannot enter it unless I say you can. You know
exactly.
Hotel
you can do whatever you
people
want
cannot
in your
enter
room.
It.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want in your room.
Yeah.
There is, there is some, unwritten rules.
There is.
Don't open your room during the show because you want people to attend the show.
Yes.
You want the promoter to
Okay.
make money, but after the show's over,
So don't let Cobra get a room because he's going to be opening. Come on, let's make all the money we can.
yeah. Go to the show, and then afterwards you can go hang out. You can go make deals. When we go, we'll take stuff from the room, from our tables, our space in the convention, and then you take it back up to the room.
Yeah.
And you do more sales up there. When
That
we
sounds
did
fun.
so when we did it in Sacramento, we had rooms set up. We had Hector from Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
He came in the room sales. He bought some stuff.
that's cool.
The guy who played Jesse in Fast and Furious, he was in the room. He bought some stuff. These guys are collectors too. So you get
You
some
had,
of these.
you had these celebrities in your room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of these celebrities will that go to this that are also collectors. They go around. Johnny, who's one of the toy guys on Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
He goes to them. He goes to all of the room sales.
Because he's looking for deals.
He's looking for stuff. Yeah. He
He
wants
has
to
personal
buy.
collection too.
Yes. So he's got a huge collection of stuff.
sure he
But this is
does.
what he goes up and he talks to everybody. That's how you meet more people. During the day, you might be busy. You might not meet everybody. Then you've got this whole time after hours to go hang out. You could go to one room or you can go to 100 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So at the convention that we go to, what they do is they put a big sign up outside of every elevator. And people will put their stickers on there or they'll write, hey, I have this in this room. If at the Hot Wheels convention.
It's like a treasure hunt.
At the Hot Wheels convention, they'll be like, hey, I have red lines in room 309. If you're looking for $1 main lines, go to this room. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for super treasure hunts, go to this room. You're looking for Johnny Lightnings, go to this room. Things like that. And everybody can write on these signs. You could put up your stickers, anything like that, telling people what you have and where to go.
Huh.
And it is the promoter does this. He makes it a part of the convention. So everybody, even if you're not selling in the convention, he's doing something to get people to come to your room.
So then why is room sales people don't want to administer that or be a manager of that, whatever they call that job or position?
Because I think that
There's something chaotic about it.
because I think people were trying to create rules about it. You can do this, you can't do that. If the promoter is saying, I only want room sales at this time, I only want room sales at this time.
You can't make that happen.
I think that's
can't
what
do
happened. I think they were trying to put too many rules on it, and he's like, fuck it, I ain't dealing with this shit.
Yeah, because what are you going to go around policing people? Like, it just sucks, you know?
Yeah, I think that's literally what they wanted.
Nobody wants to be the bad guy and say, hey, dude, close your door, man.
So, here, one of the stories that goes around is at one of the events, they were having some room sales, and to get in, the guy at the door was asking people, who is the founder of the IC? And you had to answer Michael Havens to get in.
Wow.
People are like, dude, That is fucking crazy.
Not everyone's gonna know that, but everyone in line is going, "Oh my god!"
Exactly.
Like, send it
It's
back like telephone, and then
not-
people are gonna be like, "Jerk off, Javens."
Yeah. Not everybody is a part of that group, especially when you go to something like Celebration. Not everybody.
No, Facebook groups are within themselves.
Yes.
Other groups might know, but like, dude, outside of collecting, dude, there's so many other collectors that don't care about that shit.
There's
at all.
so I know so many Star Wars collectors that do not collect vintage.
Oh yeah, yep.
I tell people in the vintage community, they're like, "Oh, modern stuff is crap." I was like, "Dude, I sell modern stuff almost 10-1
Absolutely.
vintage
Yep.
all the time."
Modern stuff is
and they
cool.
don't believe
Like,
that. And
it's
I'm like,
better articulation. It looks better. You know.
some guys are like, "Oh, modern stuff is crap." I was like, "You realize that Power of the Force was 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Those were crappy. The
still
stuff
are.
you get now, yeah, the stuff you get now is way better than anything we've had."
Right, and people do big ass setups, action figure photography. They do all kinds of shit with it. You know.
Yeah. The stuff we get now is so much better than the stuff we had as kids. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But in the stuff we had as kids, I get there's the nostalgia to it and
Of
stuff like
course.
that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to talk about the quality of the figures, dude, the stuff we have today is way better. They these figures actually look like the characters. The stuff we had back then was horrible.
It really did suck, but it was cool for the time.
Exactly.
You know,
And
you were happy to get a toy when you're younger. You know,
Exactly, and there's nothing wrong
especially
with
if it had a lightsaber that's like coming out of its fucking hand, which is the dumbest thing ever. But whatever, we all remembered it like it was great.
Yeah, and so what if Luke had a yellow lightsaber that was never in the movie? Who cares? And then they continue it into the next movie.
Well, get low. That yellow lightsaber comes back.
Yeah.
For a short amount of time, and then nobody cares. And then it ends up at Ross.
I got 2 of them there.
Yeah. See?
I
That's
did.
how cool modern is.
Actually, my mom found them for me.
Yeah, see? Your mom is not allowed at the IC.
No, definitely not. So another thing that came up during this, people were talking about how he tries to control everything. And
He definitely does.
and that's been the biggest thing is, we've discussed it on the show before where he says, if you're not with us, basically you're against us, get out of the way, whatever.
I'm sure he wants to like send every ICCC member. You have to be a card-carrying member and all this shit. Like he would like to do that, but it's just he knows it's impossible. Also,
Yeah.
he knows he's not going to make as much money, because he probably makes. I mean, he sells too, so he probably makes half and half. He makes half his money from the website or the group, and then half his money from his convention
So,
shit.
according to him, and I don't know if I believe it or not, but he says the convention doesn't make any money. And to me, I find that hard to believe.
Why would you do it then? Oh, because I'm doing it for the people.
Yeah, but I don't understand that because, like, I do a show. I have no celebrities, anything like that. I'm charging $5 for people to get in. I make money.
Yeah.
I make money before the first person walks in the door. I'm in profit.
That's good. Because you're selling booths, you're
Exactly.
spaces.
I'm selling my spaces. I'm doing all my advertising. All that stuff is paid for. And I have the absolute cheapest toy show in the entire Bay Area.
Yeah, you do. And it's one of the best now, too.
Yeah, we're the second largest one in the entire Bay Area. And we are the cheapest of any toy show or convention in the entire area.
Plus,
by far.
it's got a range of cool shit. I mean, you can find Mythic Legions, you can find Mafex, you can find wrestling, you can find Star Wars, all the normal shit too. Like, so yeah, and you have people doing customs and all kinds of shit. So
Yeah.
it's not just
our
Funko Pops.
Our last show, we maybe had 3 Funko dealers at the most. We didn't even have that many, and we had 135 vendors.
I mean, Funko's going down, but that will be a show. We'll be
Yeah,
going soon, though, so
this show is replacing that show. We were hoping to record that one tonight, but our guest could not make it tonight. So,
not to mention, I did buy one Funko yesterday, and it was the RoboCop, not RoboCop himself, but the bad guy, whatever his name, Clarence Boddicker. He's got the blood on his face, and I just bought it because it was $12. I was like, it looks cool for a Funko, and I love RoboCop, so.
I
had to do it.
So, getting back to how much this guy needs to be in control, there was a guy that was doing live sales in a totally different group.
Okay.
And Havens got upset and sent him a message.
He was doing live sales at the same time Havens was doing.
Live but
sales.
in a different group. He wasn't doing it in the same group as him, in a totally different group on Facebook, not involved in the IC at all.
But this guy used to be in the IC?
He was still.
So you think he took some people and then
another
to come
group,
to his sales?
There was another group that started because they didn't like what was going on, like in the IC and in the VA and things like that.
That's how groups start.
Exactly. They started their own group, and it was just a different group. When new groups do that, it attracts all the members, and they get really busy. And there's a lot of stuff going on because everybody wants to be a part of the new group, and you're getting good deals and stuff. And then after a while, some of them die out, and some of them go on. But there's a couple that last, and this group is one of them. It's lasted for quite a while now. So Havens got upset, and he sent a guy this message. Now, I even asked this guy if I can read his message, and he said, sure, please do.
Okay.
So he said, this is from Havens to this other guy. And when I read this, I want everyone to know there are maybe 2 periods in the entire run-on sentence. He says, hey, brother, I don't have a sale this week. I just saw you put up a new sale. I don't understand what the issue is, man, or why you're so ticked off, but I've been doing sales on Tuesdays and Fridays for like 2.5 years, man. They raise money for the convention, but you were one of my biggest supporters until 2 weeks ago, so you should know the purpose of my sales. Now you left up in arms and took all your sales to a splinter group full of IC people that has no rules because you couldn't get the time you wanted, even though you didn't submit for the time on the thread that has been there for 3 years, which was Saturday afternoon. Now you are literally putting sales directly in the same time slot as my normal sales every week. If you plan on continuing to do this, just let me know.
He did it purposely too, I bet. That's the way Haven sounds like. It's purposely against me. And da-da-da-da.
So he goes on and says, if you plan on continuing to do this, just let me know, and I guess I'll change what I have been doing for 2.5 years so you can have a time slot that isn't even good, but early enough for my mom to watch. I guess his mom buys vintage Star Wars.
Why does his mom need to watch him sell shit?
2 days a week. I don't know. Okay. I don't understand what happened here, man. I thought we were really close friends, but now 3 weeks into whatever this feud is you have going on, I'm starting to think that you are directly pissed at me and trying to be a thorn in my side. And if that's what you're doing, man, that's fine. I have about 50 people on Facebook that do that every single day. I just find it completely backwards that because you had a scheduling conflict that I was not involved in, you are just making my life a hassle. Anyway, man, I hope I have this completely wrong, and I hope it's just a coincidence, but you're doing auctions at the exact same time is mine, and it's not even a good time with lots of traction on Facebook. Friday afternoon is the slowest day. Anyway, I thought we were friends, but every day that goes by, it seems like that was never true, and I'm really bummed out about it. Anyway, I hope you and your family had a Merry Christmas, and I had no idea how we went from being so cool to you literally trying to make my life a hassle. I haven't done anything to you, man, and all I've done is wish you the best of luck, so let me know if you want me to change my times, or if I do change my time, if you will just continue to changing your time to go inside with mine just because you are passive-aggressively trying to make my life a hassle. I hope I'm completely wrong, but dude, I've got the convention, my real-life job. Andrea's store just got robbed. I've got a lot on my plate, and I don't have time to be dancing around with
Woe
whatever
is
silly
me.
drama you're trying to throw in my face, man. Just let me know. I would love for us to go back to being friends, but I do not have time for long, drawn-out, passive-aggressive snubs from you. Anyway,
Except for
I
this
know
one.
I know you're probably going to just screenshot this or chop it up and take it out of contacts, not contexts, contacts, to throw on the Death Star group. But if our friendship has meant anything over these years, I would love to talk it out because I still don't know what the hell has pissed you off so much.
Damn.
2 periods in that entire thing and tons of misspellings.
And a lot of anyways, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. Talk about run-ons, like
Jesus.
saying the same fucking thing
Literally,
over and over again.
the next comment on it is holy run-on sentence is Batman. What the fuck?
Why doesn't he say what's really going on? Like, hey, man, you're taking away from my sales. I would like, maybe we can like do something where we both sell at the same time, or we pick certain times. Like say what actually is going on. Not that
So-
like my mom watches and shit.
Maybe this
My
guy,
mom is now watching you, which is weird. So
So the time that he picks, it was like, on the West Coast, 3:00. That means it's 6:00 on the East Coast. Maybe that's when this guy gets home from work.
yeah,
Makes total sense to me.
right.
It wasn't like in the middle of the day where it was at noon on the East Coast, so 9 a.m. on the West Coast.
So and you
No.
have to what Haven said. You have to like post and say like if
So
you're granted.
there was a thread that was posted every week, not for as long as he said. It was, hey, if you want to do a live sale this week, it was after this happened. If you want to do a live sale, post the time you want to do it.
Yeah. So he made
And they
that
would-
happen after this.
Yes. So post the time you want it, the day and the time you want to do a live sale, so we don't have any overlap, which is totally understandable.
Sure.
But that thing wasn't there for 3 years.
No.
When this was posted, I remember when all this happened. The Death Star group, that's one of the groups that was splintered. Like he said, was splintered because people didn't like what was going on in the IC. Some of those guys a lot of those guys are still in it. They don't. A lot of those guys really don't like James Coleman
Oh yeah.
from the Vintage lines. That's kind of where it came from. Not so much the IC. They didn't like Coleman, so they started their own group.
Sure.
And they wanted it to have less rules because in the IC there's no swearing, and if somebody makes a post and you laugh at it, they'll ban you, things like that. They wanted a
Yeah.
group that had minimal rules,
Right.
and and I get that. There's G.I. Joe uncensored groups and things like that where they don't want to be policing everything. Hey, dude, don't be a dick. Too bad.
Some people want to police because they just like doing it.
Because they want to be in control.
Yeah.
Obviously. So
They can make the narrative, and then they could just rule, whatever.
exactly.
And then
Put on the
people-
crown.
Other people who don't post that much and they're just in the group just believe whatever they read because that's what Facebook is.
And so many of these people, it's not that big a deal. It's not their life. Some of these guys, that is we've talked about it. It is their whole personality. This is all they have. They're in these groups 24/7.
It's too much, man. But like, I kind of understand the other guy, whatever his name is. I don't think he said, but whatever. But I get it. Like, dude, if I want to sell my shit, I don't want to have to like put in for a time slot and da 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 da. I'm just gonna go do it over here.
Exactly. Hey, if
And it's no bad feelings. I don't care. Like, it's just I'm gonna do it over here.
I'm
This is a new group. I'm cool with everyone, so I'm
not doing it in your group.
yeah.
Yeah, so I went somewhere else, and if people want to leave your group to watch me, that's on you.
It's almost like he wants a part of every fucking sale, That's or a control of it and some sort of piece and some sort of like this is what it's worth. Like he needs control over
we
every
talked
little
about
part of it.
We talked about it when Jim Jones was on the show, and he was saying how, he'd post some stuff up and people aren't bidding on it, and he gets pissed off.
Yeah.
You don't know what this is. I can't let this go. And I've watched him get mad and stuff. I'm not putting up any more stuff and throw a fit when he doesn't get what he wants. Like, some people may not be watching. Like, he just tried to say, oh, these aren't great times, to be running auctions.
It could
then
be.
why are you
right.
so mad
Don't
if people
run an auction
aren't bidding?
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you need fucking money, find another way, dude.
You think, oh, people are going to tune in because it's me. I'm running mine at this time. People are going to watch because it's me. It's not a great time.
Motherfucker, put it on eBay for buy it now price, or post it in your own group for this is what the price is. Don't do a live auction.
He went to Whatnot and nobody bought his shit.
Wow. Because he can't do a good show, man. I've seen his fucking... We've watched his little rants and raves where he uses the little spinny dio and, like, he plays that music awfully too loud.
It is...
It just bitches, and he's got this not nasally, but, like, high-pitched fat guy voice where I bitch about everything.
Yeah, and, you know, Whatnot is different. I don't sell vintage Star Wars on Whatnot. I sell Pokemon there because that's what sells.
Right.
And... you know, part of it is knowing your audience. Outside of that group, he has no audience. He puts shit up on eBay, and his shit on eBay sits.
Oh, I bet.
You know,
most people's shit on eBay sits, you know, for a certain amount of time. Mine doesn't because I'm smart about it.
Yeah.
I mean, eBay kind of sucks now because people won't see your shit unless you pay for the ads and shit.
If you're looking for some
eBay
haunted
shit.
dolls, you need to look up Jonathan's eBay.
Well, I don't have any currently because I sell out of them.
Oh, so
I gotta find some more, but yeah, I will. Right now, I'm just selling like customs, so and those have been selling, so I've been marking up the price here and there. So. I gotta, you know, it funds the hobby and you know tariffs.
Oh,
I just throw out buzzwords. 9/11, you know.
Never forget. You know. That kind of got me thinking, you know, we were talking about, you know, selling shit and whatever. No, I totally lost my fucking train of thought, so we can edit that part out.
Okay.
Jesus.
Or, yeah, we can just end
Or we
the
can
show.
leave it in and say, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. I think we did it for this.
I think we did.
You know, come back on Michael Havens, which is always going to be news on Big Mac, Mr. Havens.
Yeah. You know, dude, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right. It's like having a really bad president or a really mocking president, you know.
Yeah,
like,
where it's just
back in the old days. Nowadays, everyone gets mad, you know, about shit. But remember the old days and late night hosts would always be joking about everything. There was that whole era of Biden where nobody joked about him, which was really strange and weird, you know. And I'm not being political at all. I'm just saying jokes aside.
There were,
we're talking about the
never
jokes. Why wasn't there jokes? That's weird, right?
You couldn't do that.
Yeah, it was like illegal. And people say Trump is the Nazi. Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even being political, just not at all. You know, I'm just saying, isn't that weird?
Dude, I've heard some funny Trump jokes lately. And some shit I was like, dude, that was pretty good.
Dude, Trump impressions are great. You know?
Yeah.
Especially when he says dumbass shit.
Oh,
know?
yeah. Dude, every president has said some dumbass shit.
Oh, every single one.
Yes. And sometimes it's just fucking hilarious.
It is.
You know?
You got to have, like, you know, you got to use some strategery.
Hey, sometimes, you know, we got to tariff the country of Mattel.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. that guy Mattel, fuck him. We're going to tariff his toys 100% and his country.
Yeah. See, sometimes that shit's fucking funny.
Right. We know what you meant.
Yeah. Well, all right. I think we did it.
In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you're under arrest, Chancellor.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.